I've been here because of that loss, and I hated the sense of losing, and I just did everything to get better, and here I am.
Why do you think, you got the second place? Why do you think it drove you to, go the way you did?
Yeah, I think that if I got first place, I think I would have grown a little bit of an ego. I'm pretty sure. Um, I think the second place did such a big part in a role for me in jiu-jitsu that like I have to really work for what I want. And I'm already super competitive. I hate losing in anything. It doesn't have to be jiu-jitsu. It can be like Monopoly, and I'll hate losing. And I will always find a way to get better. So I think that loss built character in my jiu-jitsu as well.
Built character. Yeah, that's it. Like jiu-jitsu, like your dad, your mom.
Yeah.
Like choosing that, like this is all I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Do you ever think about that? Like, do you ever think, which way am I going to go? Like all that pressure when you were a kid, and then now, you're 19, right?
Yeah.
19, and so like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life?
Right.
Like, what are your thoughts on?
Yeah, I think that I was bound to do jiu-jitsu whether I liked it or not. Not in a competitive way,
right.
but just in life.
Yeah.
Because ever since I was born, basically, I haven't missed one IBJJF Worlds ever. I've always been there, especially because my dad's been competing. And I've just been born with like being around cameras all the time, especially like from the age of 8 to 12 is when my dad was starting to do like get really well known in ADCC, and like that's where he became like the GOAT of jiu-jitsu. So I was always around jiu-jitsu, always like seeing how they would eat, how they would sleep, how they would lift, train when they were tired. So I feel like I grew up around it. So there was no way I was like gonna do something else, Maybe I wouldn't be competing like in another life. Maybe I wouldn't be a competitor, but I think I'd still be like someone who worked for Autos, helped with marketing or front desk stuff.
Put that same energy into something else.
Yeah. I really think I'd always be doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. I was gonna say like the CGI between the corners is just a random thought. Like
Yeah.
I remember like the first round we were waiting like all like the night because the matches were kind of like there was no result, And it's like now we're gonna wait. I want to wait till the end. I want to see your matches,
Right.
And then you went out there, and I think it was between the first and the second round. Was it the first round? It was one match, right? That first day. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and then you came out like shuffling your shoulders, and it was a different person.
Yeah.
What did he tell you between those rounds?
It was rough. I think that CGI, it was a bit more intense for me, more because I wasn't expecting to be called as the fourth person of the bracket. Right, we had 3 very high-level competitors, and I was just doing gi, basically.
Right.
So I was not expecting an invitation whatsoever. When they did ask, it was really hard to shift that mindset to like, now you got to focus on no-gi. That was really hard. And it was just, I was having like, it was really hard mentally, honestly, because I've never done a camp that was no-gi that intense, and I wasn't enjoying it because that first 3 weeks of camp, I was just getting my butt beat all the time in training, because between gi and no-gi, it's 2 different sports. It's so different. You can't tell me it's the same because it's completely different. And it was so hard. And then
how is it different?
It's different because I like to think of it as 2 different sports, right? There's the same mechanics, like you would call like wrestling the same as jiu-jitsu, but it's different, right? I think that it's like no-gi is so much more movement. You have to move so much more. And you have to work for position so much more than you would in the gi, right? I think it's so hard to stall in no-gi, right? And there's always something happening. So one, your technique has to be in check, because let's say you pass the guard, that might be the only time you ever pass the guard the whole match, You have to have like infinite gas tank, because it's nonstop movement.